Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Rush Gardener. I'm Melanie, and today we are going to pot up some shade containers. Let's get started. Before starting with soil, you want to make sure that your pots have proper drainage. So notice here at the bottom you have a nice hole in the ceramic pot, which is fantastic. But in this pot, there is not a hole. I just picked this up from Lowe's the other day, so that means I'm going to have to pop this hole out here in order to get appropriate drainage for this pot. This one does not have any holes to pop out, so I will have to create some drainage holes for this particular pot. As you can see here, I already have 3 containers filled with soil. I had made sure that they had adequate draining. The plants that I've selected for this area are primarily shade to part shade plants. The only one that is really more of a full sun plant is the sweet potato vine, but I've had really good luck with sweet potato vine. So the first grouping here, minus the flat of coleus, minus these, will be our first group of plants in that container. The second one is this grouping, and then the third is here. And we're going to just go ahead and plant those up in the containers and see what they look like. There it is, with the background of the English ivy, which I absolutely hate. I'll be working on getting that out of the area since it's so invasive. But it is a great ground cover, but it's just too invasive and it's choking out trees, and I absolutely hate it. But here is the set of 3 pots with all of the shade-loving plants, minus the sweet potato vine, which is a full sun plant. But we're going to experiment and see how it does. I just love the chartreuse color in it. Yes, I could have used more coleus in that color, but I love the way that the sweet potato vine trails. And anytime that you do a pot or a container, you want to look for something, kind of the 3 rules, is where you have a thriller, so something that's going to get a little bit taller, or it's like a bolder statement piece. I do not have anything in here that's going to be super tall, like a purple fountain grass, which gets really tall. It's a really tall grass that creates these beautiful plumes. This is going to be more of a mounding effect, and I just love the foliage of it. So if you look at the purple Persian, which is here in the front, and then the Brunnera in the back, And then you have the coleus that's kind of acting as your filler plant. And then the lobelia, the white lobelia, which is here on the side. Those are all fillers. And then you have a spiller, is the sweet potato vine. So you'll want a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. So if you stick to those three combinations, you can make beautiful containers in any color palette. Okay, the containers are all watered in and good to go and happy in their little spots. We'll see how they do throughout the summer. As a reminder, with container gardening, you can add a lot to your garden just by placing containers around. If you have a harder ground to dig in, or if you have a small space, you can do so much with a container just to add a lot of pop and color, regardless of what your lighting is. Container gardening is super simple and easy to do, and you can make a lot of big impacts by using containers. And remember, you can select plants that work with your lighting, and you can get beautiful color even just with shade plants. So those were just a few ideas of containers that you can use. I've shared all of the names of the plants in below so you can see what I used and also the containers that I found. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video on shade containers. I am looking forward to sharing more information on just gardening ideas and basically how to have a garden when you are just busy. That is me in a nutshell. I have 4 boys. I work full time, and it's a busy life, but I still love gardening and it's a big passion of mine. So I just want to share some information around gardening, and I hope that you find it useful. So I hope I see you in the next video. If you'd like, go ahead and hit subscribe and we'll go from there. Thanks. Bye.